Okay, combines are all ready. We didn't have to do a whole lot to them. Basically fuel them up, grease them, clean out the air. They're all ready. Trucks are almost all empty. I got one more that I'm gonna bring back to my place. And I think we're good to go. Sun's out. Not a lot of breeze, so we're hoping the canola is dry. And hopefully we can finish at 240.
L340. Why is that? Oh, no way? Okay. I think I put that all in there.
Well, because most of the fields are just means canola. That one, this one's reading that.
Okay, I might have just programmed that in. So, okay, we're good?
Yep.
Okay, so we are on field number 13. You've been keeping track. I got a camera again today. Kind of screwed up in some communication yesterday, and I did not have a camera. So today we've got it back on. This is our last whole field of canola. We've got a 30-acre field on the north end of 11 that we need to go back and finish up. But because it's right by my yard, we decided to leave that with hopes that what we would do is get this field 13 done today. So so field 13 is a 240-acre field, and where my worry is a little bit where if I started that other one, we'd get moving in the heat of the day, and we might not we might not be able to might have to come back to this field 13 again twice. So hoping that that was the right decision. We won't know until the end of the day. So again, we're getting to the end of the canola. Beans are getting close to being ready, so likely we will be able to get into them either end of this week or beginning of next. We'll see how it goes. So for today, we start in canola, the last field. So loaded already. Let's go closer where I think 270 is what it showed at the end.
I think I said arch at 225. Is that right? At 237.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so Arch and I each made one loop around the field. That gets the ugly part of the edges done. He is at no point even shining the corner, but he is way over there, like 3/4 of a mile.
Arch, are you good for a bit so I can unload, or should I come get you right away? Oh, I'm at 95. I'm good.
Realistically speaking, Dylan, he should be able to just about make it back to the south side.
Once I get to the corner, I gotta do a little island this side of my cutout that we can't leave. That's gonna get thrashed yet.
Okay, so you can see there's weeds in here too. That's just the way our canola has been this year. This field's actually far better than the one we were doing yesterday. The field that we were in yesterday, field 11, it's a bit stressful. We sprayed it with a raglone, which doesn't kill, it just desiccates. And there was too long of a window between desiccating and combining, and so the plants were actually greening up, and we were putting green stuff through the combine, which is awesome. Canola does not like that, so that's problematic. Number one, and B, yeah, was not a very good yielding field. I think it ended up doing right around 31.2 kind of a deal. So definitely not a bin buster yield, better than what we expected, and I will say that, so thankful for that, but not what you'd call bumper crop. So the one we're in today is going to be better. It's still not going to be no bumper crop, but if you look at it, and we'll get lots of glimpses throughout the day, but field's much cleaner, and except for right here where there's a sprayer track and it's the end. So yeah, this field looks much better. Should be much better.
Okay, I got my truck unloaded and the guys have already done a bit. First semi-load coming up. And I think we might be changing things off where I'm gonna run the cart. Hi, Peter.
Hi. How you doing? It smells a bit green, but I think it looks
I think that looks pretty good.
No, I got the other 1956 fixed up.
Okay.
I mean, we could put it in there. Like, so I'll fill this 1950, and then which one do you want me to go next?
I don't really care. I guess I'd like to have an idea what it's going to yield. Then we know what bins we can put it in.
So I'd like to fill that 1,000 was a bit too. When we have time.
That's always your spare one.
Okay, then I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah. That's if all of a sudden we have...
But
we're just filling the bin and we want to fill 1,000.
But speaking of south 1950, we should leave it alone just in case we got some wet or hot stuff. Because that's what aeration is. We don't want to tie up our aeration.
Yeah. Hey.
Then we'll do that. Hey, I'll fill this up and then we'll do it.
Okay. I'll let you go.
Okay,
I might jump in the cart here and...
I can't believe I'm myself on this photo.
Okay, then the next one we'll have Dylan jump in with I'll have Dylan jump in with you for the next one. Okie dokie.
Interesting thing I'm just noticing. I don't know if you can see it, but right there is a line. If you look that way, this is much cleaner this side. And at first I wasn't sure what that was, but there's like no weeds in this part. The other, there is. And noticed that on my first pass around. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then all of a sudden it dawned on me that I started spraying this field in the evening, and then I think with 1 or 2 tankfuls left, I quit. And I'm going to say it must have been 1. And again, I got to think this through, whether that was the clean stuff was done first, or whether that was done at the very end, that it was done the next day. But either way, that is a definite line. And when I quadded it after spraying, I don't remember seeing that the chemical didn't work. But that is such a distinct line that there is no way that that's not a spraying thing. So I'm not sure what happened there. I'll have to see if I wrote any notes down when I was spraying as to things that I might have done different or whatever. But regardless, there's something that went down that was a bit strange, and yeah. Timing of spraying can mean the difference between damaging or injuring a weed and killing it. So apparently I must have injured a lot of it, but not necessarily killed it. So that's kind of interesting.
Alrighty, well, I'm not sure whether you can say I got promoted. I think that's what I would call it. Where Peter and Dylan are gonna do a little bit of trucking. We're gonna slowly start training Dylan the ropes of trucking. He's gonna have to get his class 1 this winter, we're hoping. But he can learn what it takes to unload in the yard, changing bins, filling bins, all that fun stuff. So they're gonna do that for a bit. I'll run the grain cart for the rest of the day, I believe. And yeah. This is like my favorite field. Every time I'm on this field I probably say that, but yeah. All of our fields are flat, except this one has a ridge. It's like a 30-foot elevation drop. So
okay, so we've been going here, we've got probably close to 70 acres done here already. And this is the most consistent and probably, let's go with better, lack of better words, best canola field we've been in since all that heavy rain started. And so I wanted to just take some time to set the combine again, because when it's in and out of mud holes and all kinds of other things like we were in fields 11 and 12, it almost felt pointless setting the combine, because you just, whatever, so you left it the way it was and we went on. But this one's pretty consistent, nice even flow, and I wanted to tweak it. We did a bunch of playing around, and I think we've got her dialed in now. Our losses are at half a gram here on a 2.5 square foot pan. I think it works out to less than half a bushel an acre. I'd have to do the exact math to figure it out, but it should be under half a bushel. Anyway, and yeah, so that's what we're doing. We've got her dialed in. The key is we cannot work these combines. What are we at here? We're at like 69% engine load. Due to it is not throat. Our issue is our shoe. If I start pushing it too far, we just get too much product on the shoe, and that's what tends to happen after lots of rain. The straw is so brittle that it just hammers up to nothing, and there will be very, very little that actually makes it out the far end of the rotor. Most of this grain will all get hammered through the rotor cage and end up in the shoe, which, when you look at the bulk amount of mass that's out there, it's crazy to think that, because now that has to all get sorted out on the shoe in a timely fashion, that it has time to fall out or fall into the clean grain elevators. So yeah, and that's all done by gravity for the most part. The fan is used to help separate. That's where the accelerators and the rolls in these combines actually come in handy. But this is the one area, I'm going to say, if there is a wish list that I would have had on the new series of combine that Gleaners come out, well, one of the wishes that I would have had would be a slightly longer shoe. If they would have had it another foot longer, I'm thinking that would have probably bought it so that we could push these combines harder and get more capacity out of them without jeopardizing how much we're throwing over. So that's a bit of a frustration. They have not lengthened the shoe. That is not what they did. They did change a bunch of other stuff, but they did not do that. So that being said, you just kind of go with what it is. We don't grow piles and piles of acres of canola. We grow 1,000, I guess, roughly every year. So it's not our most enjoyable crop to grow. We do it for rotation purposes, and they're, you know, say half of the years we make good money with it. The other half of the years, well, we look forward to the next year because it'll make better money again. So it's just one of those things. Can't put all your eggs in one basket, I guess, is the way the saying goes.
Alright, these guys are driving 3/4 of a mile. I think every up and down they do is they're always figuring right around 6.5 acres each. They're driving 3 miles an hour. We've played with the settings and basically figured that at 3 miles an hour we're saving it the best. And the best sample. We're not, I think Daryl had it to under half a bushel an acre, 1/4 of a bushel an acre, half a bushel an acre, somewhere now in there. He played around with a whole bunch of stuff trying to figure out how we could travel a bit faster and this and that, and just figured 3 miles an hour is a good comfortable speed. And I'm gonna guess we got under 1/4 left to do, 160 acres left here. if they're roughly doing 6.5 acres on up and down, we'll figure the yield out after I dump arch. We grab them, we try to unload them in the roughly the same spot every single pass. That way we know, well, it's just consistent. Right around 240 bushels.
Okay, so again, going here pretty good. It is unbelievable, and I don't know if you can see it in the picture, but the wind is now from the south, and we are traveling north-south today. So yesterday we were traveling east-west. Actually, no, we started off north-south. That was yesterday's real fun day. North-south and north wind. Then we got to field number 12, and we thought, oh good, we'll finally have it to our side. We did for half an hour, and then it went from the west. So again, blowing from the back. And today, we're blowing from the south. And so now traveling north, visibility is rather not great. Actually, I should look through the camera because it almost looks easier here than it is in person, which that's weird. But it is interesting how the wind just plays with it. And you would say, one might say, ask why we wouldn't go perpendicular then, change our direction. Problem with these fields is we've been spraying them, and or not now, but we did spray them earlier in the year. And there's tracks and stuff, and just different things that'll make it terribly, terribly rough. And so that really is not a comfortable option either. So we would rather be eating dust than having to bounce across the field. So that's not an option. So we sit and we go in the dust. But we are walking right along. We've got this field about half done now. We're into it about. What are we in this field now? 4 hours-ish, kind of a deal.
Field should do right around that 37 bushels to the acre. We suck at growing. I shouldn't say we. I'll take the blame. I suck at growing canola. We've tried different things. Tried lots of different things. We often fight moisture, so our canola doesn't like it when it's really wet. Yeah, we tried waiting longer so that it didn't fight any bugs and that kind of stuff, and I'm not sure. I'm hearing neighbors are getting in that 45 to 50. We just seem like this year we can't crack that. Last year we had a great yield. We averaged just over 50, but this year it's like, I don't know, a little frustrating. And then we're fighting moistures and different things, and yeah. I feel as though we grow pretty good beans. Our yields are always, well, I would say they do quite well. I'd like to switch to more bean acres, replacing our canola acres. But you can also run into fall, to later harvesting, different things like that. But overall the years of our farming, I feel like we do a bit better with beans, soybeans than we do with canola. It's all about spreading the risk out, trying to figure out what's the best way to. Can't throw the whole farm into beans. You gotta spread harvest out, you gotta spread your risk out, different things like that. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if you keep your rotation somewhat the same, then hopefully you never lose big.
Oh, yeah, you get some march that around.
Hopefully you never lose big. Typically you never lose big, but you're also never gonna win really big unless you get it right. Yeah, so. I had 240.
Yeah, like I'm definitely gonna have a lot less this one.
Okay, Arch is driving in this combine, and that's the combine that we were having troubles with our temperature getting high on us, and Drummonds came out. We figured the thermostat, it was only opening up at 190. It's supposed to open up at 180, and we feel as though at 190 it was having a hard time getting that. It was too high, but it couldn't bring that temperature down, which was causing the reversing fan to go a lot more often, which was causing the reversing fan to pull more straw in and creating a whole bunch of other problems. He's been running it today. It's pretty hot out. He ran it yesterday. It also was hot out then, and the temperature between the two combines has been staying fairly close to the same. It's still running a little bit hotter, but maybe like 5 degrees Fahrenheit hotter, so that's acceptable. And we're cruising here along. You know, 6.5 acres on a pass, 3 miles an hour. I could do the math on that. And they're traveling 1.5 miles. I'm guessing we're probably in that roughly 30 acres an hour when we're going. So yeah, if we are roughly half done, that means we've got I'm gonna say roughly, I'm thinking close to 130 acres probably left is what I'm guessing. So if we're doing 30 acres an hour, that's a little over 4 hours and we should be done. So it's just about 5 o'clock. So hopefully by 9-ish we're done, but we will see. We will see. If we finish, that'll be awesome.
Okay, we're coming to sundown here. We got under 80 acres to go. Which means we got 160 done. But if you've ever wondered why one would have windshield wipers in a combine, it's a good question, because, well, here's the deal. You can't combine in the rain, right? But look at this. That's how much dust. Because we're going in the same direction as the wind today, my windshield wipers do a very good job of making so I don't have to stop and clean. That window is terrible. I can't even see the ground. So I'm gonna probably have to stop here when I get supper and sweep my windows off, because man, has that been building up terrible. Sometimes when you get good help, they'll even clean your mirror windows for you. Supper gets delivered, and Kendall's cleaning my mirror or windows. Let's see if this makes any difference. Oh yeah, that's remarkable. We can actually see the sun, and we can see the ground. Oh, thing of beauty. Perfect. Well, as you can see, it is dark. I've got my flashers on. We are 8 hours and 3 minutes, or 8.3, I guess almost 8.5 hours into this field, and we are done.
Well, I'm unloaded. My canola is done. Truck is about half full. We finished this 240, and by the time we get back to the next field, it's just going to be too late to start. So we'll have 30 acres. We'll have 30 acres of canola to do tomorrow, and then we're going to switch over to soybeans, and we'll see whether we can handle that or tackle that tomorrow, or what we will do. But feels good. Canola is just about done, and yeah. So anyway, fun day driving the cart. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and have yourself a good one.